I want to talk about what's going on in Brazil because it's serious, it's dangerous, and yes, it affects all of us. Brazil's President Lula just made a disgusting decision. He pulled Brazil out of the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, an organization that exists to fight anti-Semitism and to remember the murder of 6 million Jews during the Holocaust. And today, I'm going to show you why this matters to every conservative and freedom-loving person on earth. Since returning to power, Lula has shown again and again that he's not a friend of Israel. He compares us to Nazis.
O que está acontecendo na faixa de Gaza com o povo palestino não existe em outro momento histórico. Aliás, existiu quando Hitler resolveu matar os judeus.
I wish he spoke so passionately about Hamas, right? And now, he walks away from remembering the Holocaust. Coincidence? I don't think so. Here's what happened. In 2021, under President Jair Bolsonaro, Brazil joined the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, the IHRA. It was a clear message. Brazil stands with the Jewish people. But now, under Lula, Brazil is leaving the IHRA. And guess what? This move came just one day after Lula joined South Africa's case at the International Court of Justice, where they accuse Israel of genocide. That is a huge lie. Israel is not committing genocide. We are defending ourselves from terrorists who hide behind children and women in Gaza. So why does this matter? Because when a president compares the Jewish state's fight for survival to the Nazis, supports Palestinian resistance, which we all know is Hamas in other words, and walks away from Holocaust remembrance, it shows his true face. Lula doesn't just hate Israel, he hates what Israel stands for. And that means he's got a serious problem with Jews. Look, there are people who say, I don't hate Jews, I just hate Israel. That's nonsense. Israel is the Jewish state, the only one. You cannot separate the two. If you attack the only Jewish country, support its enemies, and then erase Holocaust memory, you're not just a criticizing government, you're straight up feeding anti-Semitism. You're giving hate a platform, and Lula proved it. He didn't just say something stupid, he also took stupid action. He removed Brazil from the Holocaust Remembrance Alliance, and now Jewish people in Brazil are feeling abandoned, especially Holocaust survivors and their families. Just think about it. Brazil has one of the biggest Jewish communities in Latin America. Many are children and grandchildren of Holocaust survivors. Lula basically told them, I don't care about you. And we're talking about Jews and Brazil politics, but why should people outside Brazil care about this? Because Lula is part of a global movement of far left-wing leaders who are trying to silence truth, support radicalism, and attack traditional values. He says he cares about human rights, but only when it's useful to attack Israel. When Hamas kidnaps babies and targets Jews, silence. When Israel defends itself, he calls it genocide. At the same time, Lula is attacking his political opponent, Jair Bolsonaro. Bolsonaro is being treated like a criminal, forced to wear an ankle monitor, banned from social media, and not allowed to talk to diplomats nor his own son. They call it justice. It's really a joke. But let's be honest. It's political revenge. The left says they support democracy. But when the people vote for someone they don't like, suddenly the courts start arresting opponents and media calls them dangerous. It's happening in Brazil. It's happening in America. It's happening in Europe. It's also happening in Israel. Prime Minister Netanyahu, our prime minister, was elected democratically, but the media is trying to present him like he's a dictator. You see, that's how the enemies of democracy work. Don't let the nice speeches fool you. Lula is not a moderate. He's not pro-peace. He's a socialist dictator who loves power, hates Israel, and he's using his government to crush anyone who disagrees with him. You know who else pretended to be peaceful before turning on the Jews? Hitler. In World War II, Brazil tried to stay neutral. Did that help? No. Nazi Germany still attacked Brazil. Evil doesn't care if you are neutral. It only respects strength. Appeasement never works. Trying to be neutral with evil only makes you the next victim. Look, the Bible says in Genesis 12:3, I will bless those who bless you, and I will curse those who curse you. Lula is now on the wrong side of that promise. That has consequences. That's why I pray for Brazil, because I know the people of Brazil are smart and they are not represented by Lula's actions. I've seen Brazilians wave Israeli flags at massive rallies. I've seen churches praying for the peace of Jerusalem. And I've met so many amazing people from Brazil who stand proudly with Israel and the Jewish people. The Brazilian people know that Israel is the land of the Bible. They know that the Jewish people are not colonizers. We are the indigenous people of this land. And they know that Lula is not speaking for them when he compares Israel to the Nazis or pulls out of the Holocaust Remembrance Alliance. In fact, the way Lula treats Bolsonaro, forcing him to wear an ankle monitor, banning him from social media, locking him down like a criminal, it reminds me of Iran. In Iran, Hananya, the dictator, throws opposition leaders in jail, censors the internet, and crushes anyone who disagrees. Now, Lula is doing pretty much the same thing, just with better suits and fake democracy stickers on top. But the tactics are, of course, the same. Power through fear. And just like millions of Iranians are victims of their regime, many Brazilians are suffering under Lula's leadership too. But unlike Lula, the people of Brazil still honor the people of the Bible. And that gives me hope. The media wants you to believe that Israel is the bad guy, that conservatives are dangerous, that people like Lula are good. It's a lie, don't buy it. Truth still matters, history still matters, and the future depends on people like us, standing strong, even when it's not popular. So if you agree with me, hit that subscribe button, stay connected, stay informed, and don't let anyone silence our voices.